Knowing these two facts about your brain will heavily influence your ability to attract what you want into your life, so pay close attention here. Number one, negativity bias comes from this little almond-shaped thing in the center of our brains called the amygdala. It's part of the default mode network. There's a psychologist and happiness researcher named Rick Hansen, and he reported that the amygdala is primed to find the negative. In fact, now get this part of the brain uses 2/3 of its neuronal power to search for bad news. Once the amygdala finds the negative, the fight, flight, freeze response is triggered, and the adverse event immediately becomes a memory. Well, what do bad memories do? They often haunt us, and they cause us to make meaning out of situations that isn't always true. So, the brain is wired for negative emotions due to evolutionary psychology. We actually inherited negativity bias from our caveman ancestors. It's natural to pay more attention to negative emotions than positive ones. So, we kind of got the shaft on this deal. The good news is, we can reprogram our brains to create emotionally brighter experiences. And one way to do this is with mindful awareness. Mindful awareness makes the subconscious conscious. So, you can interrupt disempowering thoughts by simply asking yourself, is this true? Well, 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Mindful awareness decreases amygdala activity, so you can start putting it in check today. Fact number 2. Brain studies reveal that thoughts produce the same mental instructions as actions. Mental imagery impacts cognitive processes, including motor control, attention, perception, planning, and memory. So the brain is getting trained for actual performance during visualization. That's magical. Research has revealed that mental practices are almost as effective as true physical practice. The efficacy of visualization is well documented, but I don't need the research to know how effective it is because I've lived this. Visualizing what I wanted every single day brought me straight out of scarcity and into abundance, when all I had to work with was my mind. That's all I had. So what are the 2 biggest blocks that delay manifestations and just completely block manifestations? Well, it's fear and doubt. If our brains are wired to believe the bad over the good, then why would we not be fearful and doubtful about everything? Those thoughts that cause you to believe disempowering things about yourself are what delay and block you from getting what you want. And then throw all things society in the mix. I mean, damn, it's a lot to combat, but now that you know this, you can actually do something about it. Start behaving with mindful awareness and interrupt those thoughts that serve you no purpose. This is easy to do once you get into the habit of doing it. Once you get into the habit of living with mindful awareness, your dedication will pay off and your brain will become accustomed to believing the good over the bad. Now you're looking at someone who reprogrammed her brain to believe the good stuff. And all of us are different, but it took me a decade or longer to accomplish this. Those ridiculous thoughts still surface from time to time. It's rare. These days, they appear about 3 times a week versus 3 times a minute. Now think about what I just told you about the brain science behind visualizing what you want. If you can create bad experiences, toxic people, financial problems, sickness, and other things you absolutely do not want, then you can create fabulous experiences, wonderful people, wealth, health, and all the things that you want so badly. It seems so simple, doesn't it? It's like, why is it so damn hard? Well, now you know. Because we're wired to believe worst case scenario. If you need help with visualization, I have several guided visualizations on my website at paulaswope.com and on my YouTube channel. All those links are in my bio. I also have tons of information about visualization in my new book, Thought Snob, The Modern Spiritual Playbook for a Better Life. I'm so proud of this book. It's available on Amazon in 3 different formats. The link is also in my bio. And don't forget to check out my podcast, the Thought Snob Podcast with Paula Swope. We're always talking about this stuff. It's like this just wealth of knowledge in each episode. Links in my bio.